Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session, I have started a chapter named Surface Chemistry. Okay, there I have discussed some basic points regarding adsorption phenomenon. Well, just we recall the concept. What is adsorption? Is the accumulation, or I can say the phenomenon in which accumulation of one substance takes place on the surface of another. Okay, what is adsorption? Is the phenomenon in which accumulation of, or I can say concentration of one substance takes place on the surface of another is called adsorption. Well, further what we said, there will be two components involved. What are those? One is adsorbate, second one adsorbent. What is adsorbate? The substances which are accumulated. These are the substances, okay, or a species which are accumulated, or you can say concentrated on the surface of another are called adsorbate. Okay, further what we said, one more component, adsorbent. Yes, what is adsorbent? The substances, the surface on which, okay, these are the substances, or you can say simply the substances which provide the surface area for accumulation are called adsorbent. So two components, adsorbate and adsorbent. Okay, further what we said regarding the phenomenon, it is a what type of phenomenon it is a surface phenomenon. Whatever the phenomenon adsorption takes place, it takes place only on the surface of a substances or a species. Further, I said, what is the actual cause for adsorption? ಯಾಕೆ ಏನು ರೀಸನ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ? ಎಸ್, ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ tendency to retain the retain the molecules of other substances which comes in contact with it. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿ ಟು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ retain the molecules, I can say particles of a some other phase to which it comes in contact. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಗೆ ಆ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಓಕೆ, ಆ why it has that tendency, or I can say why it has a potential to attract and retain the other particles, means we said about cause for adsorption. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ರೀಸನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಎಸ್, ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ unbalanced forces, or I can say free valencies. Those unbalanced forces, or I can say free valencies, are responsible for a phenomenon called adsorption. Okay, remember what is the cause for adsorption means? Yes, the particles, or I can say atoms, which are present on the surface of a species have large number of free valencies. Those free valencies, or I can say unbalanced forces, is responsible for a phenomenon called adsorption. Well, now in this session I'm going to continue the rest part. Well, here, as we said, the surface of a solid contains unbalanced forces, or I can say free valencies. Well, in what form actually? Yes, those unbalanced forces are present in the form of active centers. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು? Active centers ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It's very very important. ಈ active centers ಅನ್ನ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Well, what is active center? Generally, in general, ನಾವು active center ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? These are the imperfections. Active center ಏನದು? These are the imperfections of a solid surface. Simple ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ? These are the imperfections of a solid surface are called active centers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ whenever you look at the solid surface, the surface of a solid is not actually completely plane. Okay, the solid surface is not actually a complete plane. Rather, there will be edges. Okay, there will be edges, there will be cracks, and even there will be peaks. Andre a solid surface ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿರ್ತವೆ, it is not a perfect plane. There will be certain imperfections. Whenever if I consider any solid surface, say for example, if I look at the back side of a mobile, okay, how it looks, we say it is a complete plane, but actually when you analyze through microscopic level, the surface is not a plane. It has certain imperfections, it has certain, okay, imperfections, is not a perfect plane, rather it has certain imperfections. In what form? Those imperfections present in the form of edges, it may be present in the form of cracks, or it may be present in the form of peaks. Okay, I repeat, the solid surface, if I consider any solid surface, yes, surface is not a perfect plane always. There will be certain imperfections present on the solid surface. Those imperfections are called active centers. Well, in what form those active centers present? Okay, in what form? Yes, it is present in the form of edges. It may be present in the form of cracks. It may even present in the form of a peaks. Well, altogether, these imperfections present on the solid surface in the form of edges, cracks, and peaks, altogether called active centers. Well, so further, I hope you got the definition for active center. So, what is active center? The imperfections of a solid surface in the form of edges, cracks, and peaks, altogether called active centers. Please remember the definition of a active center. Well, further, the number of free valencies, as we said, solid has a tendency to attract and retain the other particles. What is the reason for that? What is the cause for that? These are the, it is the reason is free valency. Okay. If any solid surface has free valency, yes, it has a tendency to attract and retain the other substances. Now here, if I consider number of free valencies at active center, okay, we know the meaning of active center. It may be edges, cracks, and peaks. Okay. Now coming to the free valencies, these number of free valencies will be more at active center. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೀ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೀ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್? ಎಸ್, ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ರೆಡಿಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. How they are related? They are all directly related. So now what is notice? Okay, what we are noticing here, the number of free valencies are more at active centers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೀ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಫ್ರೀ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್, ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ extent of absorption is very very high. All three quantities are directly related. ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು? Adsorption is directly proportional to free valencies, and even it is directly proportional to active centers. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೂರು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ, all are directly related. So if free valencies are more, adsorption is more. Similarly, if active centers are more, free valencies are more. If free valencies are more, adsorption is more. So it is to be remembered. Okay. Yeah. So now I can say here, the number of free valencies are more at active centers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿದೆ, free valencies will be very high. Where? At active centers. Thus, extent of adsorption is also more. So three quantities, what I am saying: adsorption, free valency, okay, free valency. Then third one, what I said, active centers. So adsorption is directly proportional to free valency, and further it is directly proportional to active centers. So overall what I can say, if a number of active centers are more, extent of adsorption is also more. If active centers are less, extent of adsorption is also less. All three quantities are directly related. Okay, so just I will go through the statement. Yes, what we said here, the number of free valencies are more at active centers. and thus extent of adsorption is also more. Hence, the extent of adsorption can be increased by increasing the number of active centers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ extent of adsorption ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? By increasing the active centers. ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್? ಇಂಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ರಫ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ದರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಡ್ಜಸ್, ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೀಕ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾನು? there will be increase in the imperfections, or I can say active centers. ಈಗ active center increase ಆದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? extent of adsorption ಕೂಡ increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So directly proportional. Well, now if we consider the number of active centers, how we can increase how one can increase the number of active centers. ಈ active center ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? Yes, one, as per the explanation what we analyzed, by subdividing the catalyst. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಪೀಸಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? there will be increase in the surface area. Surface area increase ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Again further there will be increase in the imperfections. Overall adsorption also increases. Okay, remember, if I think of any substances can be considered in the form of crystalline form and another one amorphous. Okay, so now here where the adsorption takes place, in which case adsorption takes place more means in the of amorphous. In amorphous form, adsorption, extent of adsorption will be more. Reason, since extent of adsorption depends on the surface area. Okay, ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Since is a surface phenomenon, more surface, greater is the extent of adsorption. Less surface area, less is the extent of adsorption. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಮಾರ್ಫಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಎರಡು ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟೂ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲೈನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಮಾರ್ಫಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. In which case extent of adsorption is more means in the amorphous form. ಯಾಕೆ amorphous form ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Here surface area is high, or you can say more. Therefore adsorption is also more. Is it clear? Now coming to this point, active centers. How we can increase the number of active centers means, yes, first one, what's the first answer here? By subdividing the catalyst, means by converting a crystalline form into amorphous form. We are increasing surface area, therefore active centers increases, in turn adsorption increases. Next point, what is that? By converting smooth surface into rough surface. Okay, what is the one more way to increase the active center? By converting smooth surface into rough surface. ಈಗ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? there will be only less number of edges, cracks and peaks present. or simply ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ there will be less number of imperfections present, so extent of adsorption is less. On the other hand, if I consider rough surface, okay, by converting smooth surface into rough surface, what happens? Active centers increases, hence adsorption increases. Is the second thing. Third way is using catalyst in a colloidal state. Colloidal state ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? 1 ನ್ಯಾನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಟು 1000 ನ್ಯಾನೋಮೀಟರ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ 1 ನ್ಯಾನೋಮೀಟರ್ ಟು 1000 ನ್ಯಾನೋಮೀಟರ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. even there will be more number of active centers present, hence adsorption increases. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ what is the cause for adsorption ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. It is due to presence of free valencies, or I can say unbalanced forces on the surface of a solid. They show tendency of adsorption. A free valencies ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅವನು active centers ಅಂತಾನು ಕರಿಬಹುದು. So whatever the imperfections which are present on the solid surface, all together called active centers. Those imperfections may be present in the form of edges, in the form of cracks or peaks. Then further what we said, adsorption depends on the free valencies. Further, free valency also depends on the active centers. Three quantities. All three quantities are directly related. Free valencies are more, adsorption is more. It means active centers are more. If active centers increases, number of free valency also increases, hence adsorption increases. If active centers are less, free valencies are less, hence extent of adsorption is less. So three quantities are directly related. So it is important, which is to be remembered. Further, what we said, the number of active centers, how one can increase the number of active centers. Yes, these active centers can be increased by subdividing the catalyst, by converting smooth surface into rough surface, and third one, using catalyst in a colloidal state. Okay, well, coming to the next concept, differences between two quantities, adsorption and absorption. Okay, ಇವೆರಡು ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ ನಾವು ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, now we'll consider the differences between adsorption and absorption. well, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, what is the difference between adsorption and absorption? ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಮೇ ಬಿ 2 or 3 marks. Write any 2 point of difference between adsorption and absorption, or you can say simply what is the difference between adsorption and absorption. Well, first we look for adsorption. Adsorption ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು? So first point, what it says. So what is the first point of difference? The substance is concentrated only at the surface. ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Adsorption, during which what happens? One substance is get concentrated or accumulated only at the surface and does not penetrate through the surface into the bulk of a adsorbent. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The substances are concentrated or I can say accumulated only at the surface but does not penetrate into the bulk of a substance. ಇದು one point. ಹೌದಾ? Adsorption ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Well, second point, if I consider, adsorption is a surface phenomenon. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು just surface ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Is the second point. Then the third point, adsorption takes place in layers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Adsorption takes place in the by forming a layer of adsorbate on the surface. ಈಗ suppose ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ consider, if I consider, say it is the, just consider if I consider this mobile phone is the adsorbent. If I consider these are, say it is the adsorbate, what happens? It get concentrate only on the surface. ಈ ಬರೀ external ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? is get concentrated only on the surface. ಬರೀ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Therefore we say is a surface phenomenon and it takes place in layers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? on the surface of a adsorbent a layer of adsorbates present. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? it takes place in layers. Further, next ಏನಿದೆ? the extent of adsorption depends on the total surface area. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ adsorption ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? it depends on the total surface area. ಈಗ ತುಂಬಾ, if surface area is more, adsorption is more. If surface area is less, adsorption is also less. So it is about adsorption. Okay, first ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ? first point ಏನಿದೆ? the substance is concentrated only at the surface and does not penetrate through the surface to the bulk of a adsorbent. First point. Second, adsorption is a surface phenomenon. And for the third point, it takes place in layers. And the fourth point, extent of adsorption depends on the total surface area. Okay, well, now coming to absorption. Absorption ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. The substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of a solid. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of a solid. Therefore ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, it is a bulk phenomenon. Adsorption ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು surface phenomenon, but absorption is bulk phenomenon. Since it is a bulk phenomenon, layers are not formed. ಇದು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ absorption is a surface, bulk phenomenon. Therefore layers are not formed here. Okay, well, next ಏನಿದೆ, extent of adsorption ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Okay, the extent of adsorption depends on surface area, ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ, adsorption ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, the extent of absorption depends on the total mass of a substance. ಇದು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, it depends on the total mass of a substance. So it is a difference between adsorption and absorption. So please remember the points of differences between adsorption and absorption. I hope it's clear, right? Well, now if I consider one example for this, say if you dip a chalk piece in a ink bottle, so consider chalk piece, say just it is immersed in a ink pot. So now when we place a chalk piece in ink bottle, so what we can analyze, the surface of a chalk retains the color of a ink. Are you getting here? When you look at the surface, okay, the surface of a chalk piece, earlier it is a white itself, but when it is placed in a ink bottle, the surface of a chalk retains the color of a ink. Andre a surface ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, earlier it is white color, now what happens, if I immerse it in a blue colored ink pot, the surface becomes blue color. Black color ink bottle dip ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ black color ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, red color ink bottle dip ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ red ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, respective color. ಈಗ ಜನರಲ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ, ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಚಾಕ್ ರಿಟೇನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕಲರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಇಂಕ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ವಿಚ್ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೈ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತವೆ, ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಚಾಕ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಂಕ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬೇಟ್, ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಬೆಂಟ್. ಇದೊಂದು ಅನಲೈಸಿಸ್. ಫರ್ದರ್ now if I consider the liquid part, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅದೇ chalk piece ಅನ್ನು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that entire chalk piece, okay, when you look at the entire chalk piece, what happens, that entire chalk piece is going to contain fluid part, or I can say liquid part. So what we are analyzing here, the solvent of ink goes deeper into the stick. A solvent part in the liquid part, okay, it is general water content, it goes deeper into the chalk. ಅಂದ್ರೆ chalk piece ಮಧ್ಯದವರೆಗೂ ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, till the center. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ chalk piece ವೆಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? So generally what I am saying here, the solvent of a ink goes deeper into stick. This movement of solvent ಅದು ಯಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it is due to absorption. Okay, what is the reason here, it is due to absorption. Andre if I consider ink and chalk, ink get accumulated only on the surface, it becomes adsorption, it is due to adsorption. If I consider solvent goes deeper into the chalk piece, it is because of which phenomenon, it is because of absorption. Okay, well, got it? Please note here the process in which, okay, as I already considered, the process in which both adsorption and absorption can take place simultaneously is called sorption. In the last session I have said, okay, I told about this concept. What is sorption? The phenomenon in which both adsorption and absorption takes place simultaneously is called sorption. Example for this, a gas on a zeolite. Okay, whenever a gas comes in contact with the zeolites, what happens, Gas molecules get adsorbed as well as absorbed. Gas molecules get adsorbed as well as absorbed on a zeolite. Okay, is an example for sorption. Well, now if I consider mechanism of adsorption, how mechanism adsorption takes place. So well, we already said about this concept. Adsorption rises because surface particles of adsorbent, okay, surface particles of adsorbent are not surrounded by either atoms or molecules of their same kind on all sides. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು, ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ನಾಟ್ ಸರೌಂಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ atoms or molecules of their same kind on all sides, and hence they possess unbalanced forces, or I can say residual attractive forces, which are responsible for attracting the adsorbate. Okay, so whenever if you analyze the surface of a adsorbent, so the surface atoms or I can say molecules are not surrounded by same kind of atoms or molecules. So here what happens, when you look at the diagram, few surface atoms, they are free, they are going to carry certain free valencies. So well, coming to the next concept, what is that? Bit of thermodynamics means during the phenomenon of adsorption, what are all happens with respect to thermodynamic terms or thermodynamic conditions. Well, we can analyze this with explanation. So first, what I can say, during adsorption, what happens? Whatever those free valencies present on the surface, they involved in bond formation, either temporary bond formation or permanent bond formation with the adsorbate molecules. So remember, during adsorption, what happens? There will be formation of a bond between adsorbate and adsorbent. The bond may be temporary or you can say permanent. We have possibilities there. So now when bond is formed, what happens? Heat or you can say energy, whatever the energy associated with those free valencies will be released out or I can say given out to the surroundings. Therefore, what we are saying, during absorption there is a decrease in the surface energy. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ that free valencies associated with energies, that energy will be given out in the form of heat. The energy is released during adsorption ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ the energy is released during adsorption in the form of what? In the form of a heat. ಈ heat release ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, what type of process it is? It is a exothermic process. ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, during adsorption energy is released in the form of a heat. Therefore, we call adsorption is a exothermic process. Further, we know for all exothermic process, what about enthalpy change will be negative. Okay. So one parameter we got. If I consider adsorption, what about enthalpy? Delta H is equal to negative minus. Means enthalpy decreases. It is a exothermic process. Please remember. So adsorption, yes, it is a exothermic process, and delta H is negative. Enthalpy decreases. Why decreases means, since during adsorption there is a decrease in the surface energy which appears as a heat. Hence, it is a exothermic process. Therefore, delta H becomes negative. Delta H is equal to minus. So if I consider diagrammatically, say adsorbent, when adsorbate molecules accumulate on the surface of a adsorbent, what happens? The free valencies, or I can say those unbalanced forces, going to release the energy in the form of a heat. Heat is liberated. So we say it is a exothermic process with a delta H is equal to negative. Further, if I consider a particular example, say gas on a solid surface, we know that gases gases, they have a random movement. Okay, they have a free mobility, or they have a random movement. When they have a random movement, if I consider their disorderness, degree of disorderness will be more or less. Yes, obviously when they have a random movement, the degree of disorderness is very very high. Well, that the degree of disorderness is nothing but entropy. The measurement of degree of disorderness of a system is called entropy of a system. Now, that entropy of a gas is not is associated with their mobility movement. Now, during adsorption, what happens? When gases are adsorbed, any kind of gas, when gases are adsorbed, what happens? The freedom of movement, freedom of movement becomes restricted. Since what happens? Whenever on the surface of a say, solid, once gaseous molecules undergo adsorption and gaseous molecules get adsorbed, what their mobility? Earlier they used to have free movement, but now what happens? Their mobility will be restricted. When mobility is restricted, what about its entropy? Yes, entropy decreases. Yes or no? The entropy decreases. When they have more mobility, entropy is very high. When they, after adsorption, or I can say during adsorption, when their mobility gets restricted, the entropy of a system decreases. That is, delta S becomes negative. Is the second thermodynamic parameter. Delta H is negative and delta S is also negative. Is it clear? So why delta S is negative means, since during adsorption, mobility of adsorbate molecules, generally what I can say, mobility of adsorbate molecules will be restricted. Hence, the entropy of the system decreases. Therefore, delta S becomes negative. Delta S is equal to negative. Well, third thing what we have to analyze is, so adsorption is thus accompanied by decrease in enthalpy as well as decrease in entropy of the system. Delta H is equal to negative and delta S is equal to negative. Further, now if I consider adsorption phenomenon, adsorption takes place by its own. Okay, there is no any need of external factors or parameters. So adsorption takes place by its own. It means what I can say, adsorption is a what type of process? It is a spontaneous process. Yes, what I said, adsorption is a spontaneous process. Well, a reaction to be spontaneous, or I can say any phenomenon to be spontaneous. Okay, what about Gibbs energy? That is delta G. It must be negative, right? Yes or no? Since adsorption takes place by its own, therefore it is a spontaneous process. And regarding thermodynamic parameters, what we know, for any spontaneous process, delta G must be negative. This delta G must be negative. Okay. Well, how this delta G becomes negative? Now, if I analyze, delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S. Well, it is possible the delta G becomes possible when, if delta H is negative, so this delta H quantity must be negative, and quantity T into delta S, this minus into delta S must be positive. So as adsorption proceeds, enthalpy delta H, what happens? Enthalpy goes on decreases, so delta H becomes less and less negative. Ultimately, when delta H becomes equal to T into delta S. Andre, during process what happens? Enthalpy goes on, decreases. When this delta H becomes equal to a product T into delta S, when these two quantities becomes equal, what happens? At that time, delta G becomes equal to 0. ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಚ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟಿ ಇಂಟು ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಸ್ ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಜಿ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0. When delta G becomes equal to 0, then what we are saying? At this state, equilibrium will be attained. That process becomes equilibrium and there is no more adsorption takes place. And then ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, for a reaction to be spontaneous, adsorption spontaneous process ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. So delta G ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪಿ ಏನಿದೆ? delta H is negative. Entropy delta S is also negative. ಇದನ್ನ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. It is about thermodynamics of a phenomenon, that is adsorption. So I just recall all these three quantities. First one, during adsorption what happens? Energy will be released in the form of heat. Therefore what we said, adsorption is a adsorption is an exothermic process. Therefore delta H is negative. Second, regarding entropy, during adsorption what happens? The mobility, free movement of adsorbate molecules will be restricted. So what happens? Entropy of the system decreases, hence delta S is equal to negative. Further, adsorption is a spontaneous process, and for any spontaneous process delta G must be negative. So overall what I can say, delta S is negative, delta G is negative, and delta H is also negative. Well, okay. Coming to MCQs, well, the first one, number of active centers. The number of active centers can be increased by, how to increase the active centers? First one, by subdividing the catalyst. Second, converting smooth surface into rough surface. Third, using catalyst in colloidal state. And the fourth, all of these. ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ? How to increase the number of active centers. ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಗೆ active center ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು? Yes, by subdividing, that is crystalline amorphous, possible. By converting smooth surface into rough surface, is possible. By using catalyst in a colloidal state, possible. It means, what is the answer? All of these. Okay, active centers ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Yes, by subdividing catalyst what happens? Surface area increases, so adsorption increases, that is active centers increases, therefore adsorption increases. By converting smooth surface into rough surface, okay, number of peaks, cracks and edges increases, is nothing but active center increases. Using catalyst in a colloidal state, yes, there will be more number of active centers. So answer ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? All of these. Well, coming to the next question, the uniformly distributed substance throughout the bulk of a solid. The uniformly distributed substance throughout the bulk of the solid is called, first, absorption, AB, second, adsorption, third, sorption, and the fourth, none of these. ಏನು bulk phenomenon ಯಾವುದಿಲ್ಲಿ? Absorption. Okay, just recall, absorption ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Is the phenomenon of distribution of one substance into the bulk of another. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು absorption ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Adsorption ಅಂದ್ರೆ concentration, or I can say accumulation of one substance on the surface of another. Sorption ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ? If adsorption and absorption takes place simultaneously, then what? Sorption. So here answer A. Well, next question ಏನಿದೆ? Adsorption is accompanied by, ಅಂದರೆ during adsorption ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It is accompanied by, first, decrease in enthalpy. Enthalpy ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Decrease in enthalpy, correct ಆ wrong ಆ? Yes, it is right. Enthalpy ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Next ನೋಡೋಣ. Second, ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೋಪಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಎಸ್, ಎಂಟ್ರೋಪಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿ ಬೋತ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದು, ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿ ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸಿ ಬೋತ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಅಡ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಸ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಥರ್ಮೋಡೈನಮಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪಿ decreases, entropy decreases. Since it is a spontaneous process, delta G must be negative. So overall ನೆನಪಿಡೋದೇನಿಲ್ಲಿ, delta H is equal to negative, delta S is equal to negative, and delta E is equal to negative. Well, so well with this I'm going to conclude about this session. Again in the next session we'll discuss some other concept. Okay, thank you.